Today I'm going to be walking you through the process of drawing up a vaccine from a multi-dose vial. We're going to have to eventually start doing this for the flu vaccine, so I wanted to just review how to do this. First, you're going to want to make sure that you confirm the 7 rights to any vaccine or medication administration. Then you're going to want to confirm that you have the correct medication, that there's plenty of liquid in the vial, and confirm the lot number and the expiration number. And you're going to want to be entering this into the chart to confirm that everything is good and that you have the correct vaccine. Keep in mind that any open multi-use vials should be marked with the date that they were opened, or if you're opening a multi-dose vial for the first time, you should be marking the date that it was opened. Then you're going to want to prepare your syringe and your needle as you typically would for drawing up. Please make sure that you don't use a 25 gauge 1-inch needle or a 25 gauge or a 23 gauge 1-inch needle for drawing up and preparing your administration, because those are in very limited supply right now. So make sure you use either a 25 gauge 5/8 needle or some other sort of needle to do your preparation. Once you have your syringe with your preparation needle all set to go, you're going to want to clean off your vial. Because this is a multi-dose vial and it's been used before, you really want to make sure that you clean the top diligently with an alcohol wipe, so at least 15 to 30 seconds. Once the top of your vial is clean, you're going to want to prepare your syringe to draw up the vaccine. So you're going to want to start by drawing up the amount of air into the syringe that you're going to be drawing up back vaccine once you inject the air into the vial. So I'm going to draw back to 0.5 mLs of air. Then I'm going to get ready to put my syringe and my needle into the vial. I'm going to inject the air that I just drew up into my syringe, into the vial, because that's going to be the amount of liquid that I'm going to be taking out of the vial. Then I'm going to flip the vial over and draw back the amount of vaccine that I need, so the 0.5 ml. Note that I'm now drawn back to 0.5 mLs, and all the air bubbles are out of my needle, or out of my syringe. Now I'm ready to remove my needle from the vial, and I'm ready to switch over to my needle for administration. Please note that when I am measuring in the syringe, I am measuring to that first line on the stopper and not the tip of the stopper. So note that first line is at the 0.5 ml mark, even though the tip of the stopper is at probably the 0.4 ml. I am measuring to that top line on the stopper. Before I switch to my administration needle, I want to make sure to draw back any vaccine that's in my current needle. So I'm just going to draw back until I have some air in my syringe. Then I'm going to be switching to my administration needle, which is going to be the 25 gauge 1-inch or the 23 gauge 1-inch, depending on what we have available. Once I have my administration needle on, I'm going to prime my needle just so to get any air bubbles out, and just until there's the first drop that comes out of the needle. The last thing I'm going to want to do now that my needle is primed, my vaccine's been drawn up, is I want to make sure to put a label on my vaccine because it is in a syringe. And now I'm ready to go administer this vaccine to the patient. Make sure to return the vial back to the fridge just so the rest of the multi-dose vial is protected. Also note that there should be exactly 10 doses in each vial, so 10 of these 0.5 ml doses. If there is ever any extra or leftover vaccine in the vials, that could happen, but after there's been 10 doses taken from it, if there's a partial dose, a partial 11th dose, that should be discarded and wasted. You should never take part of a dose from one vial and part of a dose from another vial. So if you can't get a full dose from one vial, discard whatever you drew up and start a new vial.